Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today with you. And I'm looking forward to show you the app builder we've been talking about quite a lot. And I genuinely believe that this does change the way that we work. And each time I'm using it, I'm fascinated everything that I can do with it, even though I'm not a developer and I don't have any background. So that's a great tool that you're going to discover today. Just for your information, we do have a delay of 1 minute with the streaming that we use. So I will wait a little more to make sure that I do see your questions that will come a little later than they should. So this is our first episode, and as I said, today it's all about building, and I would love you, obviously, to participate. I know sometimes it's a bit difficult, you might feel shy or weird, but I mean, here we are kind of in a safe space. You can just write your comments and let me do the work, because I'll be the one building then for you the idea that you have. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be something we'll discover at the same time what's possible, and to see how it looks in the end. So really don't hesitate to write your ideas in the chat. And in case you are not sure yet what we can build, then obviously I can give some example just to see what's possible. So I'm going to start to share my screen to gain a little bit of time, as I said, because questions come a little later, or answers as well. And yeah, make sure to use the chat. Don't be shy, and let's start. It's going to be roughly 30 minutes. I don't want it to be any longer because I guess we all have other things to do, but I promise it's going to be exciting. And something I forgot to tell, we do have a little surprise in the end, and I am certain that it's interesting for every one of you, no matter your profile, no matter what you do, no matter how your daily life looks like. So yeah, let's start. I'm just gonna share my screen real quick. So I'm just gonna put this away. I mean, the participate, I wanted to put it away, but maybe it's a great way to keep you engaged in case you're interested. And well, I will show you one comment I got in the chat. It's from my biggest supporter, which is, yeah, you might not see it very well, but it's from Nama. So thanks, Nama. Okay. Maybe before I will start directly, I can show you some ideas of what's possible for you to come with other ideas. So this is, first of all, our platform where everything happens. The idea of the app builder is that you can build literally anything that you want and need for your internal processes, or even outside of that. So it's super flexible, and you just have to describe what you want to do, and then it's gonna build. And for you, I can give you some examples. This is something that Nama, for example, built. It's a CRA compliance reviewer, so it's very specific, but obviously can be very specific to any kind of domain you're working in. And this is just some examples. So he built it with the app builder. You just have to put here a data sheet or anything else, and it's going to check then against the CRA requirements. Obviously, I'm not that into the technical things of it. So some of you might have already seen my recipe web page. So obviously it's totally different, but it's the same concept. You can build whatever you like, and this is how it could look like. So you can click on the recipe and taste them. At least try to do them, and don't hesitate to give me some feedback here. Okay, and now let's go back to the real one. I've seen that you've been quite shy today. It's okay. It's Tuesday morning. I feel it. So if you want, I can just come with an idea, and so that it's understandable for everyone, we will do something that everyone can relate to. So let's just say we want an admin portal and a user portal. So we have like two pages depending on what profile you have. And the admin portal should be about all the employees that you have, for example, where you can just then give an Excel file and it ingests all your employees, and where the employees on the user side can give some feedback. So let's just do that one. I want a portal, I want an admin portal where I can manage my employees. And I want a feedback section as well. This feedback section. There is a user portal as well. So for the beginning, I'm going to make it very, very simple. And afterwards, we can then refine, of course, step by step. Surely, the more specific you are, the better the results. So I could have said exactly what kind of sections do I want in my employee portal. Is it really just my employees? Do I want something else? Is there some process that needs to happen? So, for example, something I did lately is to make sure that I can just give it in the identity card, and then it's going to read the identity card and create the employee automatically. So these are some things you can always add, and you can do this just by typing here on the left and giving some information. Yes, so this is how it looks like once it's working. Not very difficult, I guess. We do have the standard version. So this is for the people that are not very interested in the details of what is happening behind the scenes. It's just build and I don't care what's happening. But if you're a little bit more curious and you want to have also way more possibilities to adapt things, you can go to the expert mode. And here you'll find way more information. So here it's going to be a little bit more specific of what it's building right now. You can see as well, so here it's built in two phases, and he's starting with phase 1 right now. Then here, that's a very interesting feature we have. You have access to all the code. So no matter what he's gonna build, you will be able to download even all that code base to view it as well. And once you have built the application, you can run it. That's how we say, like we do the difference between run and build, between build and run, sorry. So here we are building. And then if you want to run it, for example, you can just download all of it and then run it on your laptop or wherever on your own server, whatever it might be, to make sure that you have 100% security of your data. Because if it's the case and you download this and you use your server for it, obviously then no LLM or whatever it might be has access to your information and to what you're doing. So this can be very interesting if you have confidential documents that you're treating and so on and so forth. And of course, for example, if one LLM decides not to work one day, you don't care because you already have everything you need. So that's quite a great feature. And then we do have the backend. So here we kind of have the overview. Well, right now it's the app obviously is not running, but normally it says healthy. You can check your analytics. This as well will work once it runs. So you can see how many people have visited my page, what exactly did they look for, and so on and so forth. And you can check as well your database, all the routes. So these are the API endpoints. So this is really more for the developers or the geeks among us. And then we have the logs and the secrets as well. So it just goes further and further, and you can see the storage. And as long as it's building, I'll just continue with the features that I think are quite interesting. We do have a security button. So before publishing this, whatever you're building, as you can see, we do have a publish button here so that other people have access to it. I'll just make sure to continue because I'll come back 2 seconds, but I've just seen that it did his work. So now it built phase 1, and it's for us to see, okay, is it okay or don't we like it? For reasons to make it a bit easier, the admin and the employee portal is on one page, but obviously you can have 2 different pages than just with here, for example, an admin edition. So to make sure that you don't have the same page for it, but we can just see what he built so far and if it's fine for us. Okay, so that's exactly it. It was about employees and seems to be fine for now. So let's just let him continue. And we'll go back to the security button. So once you want to publish this business application or this business logic you have built, you can always make sure that there are no security issues or anything else. So he's gonna run the whole page and make sure if there's something for you to fix it. And you have the audit button as well. This is kind of my favorite one because it explains in plain language what's going on, how is the confidence check on what you've built, and so on and so forth. So for once, you do understand the buttons that are written, and it's not some language we don't know to speak. So these are the most interesting features for now here. And of course, we do have some other ones. Here, for example, obviously you can plan first before giving the idea to your app builder, and you can always attach something. So we're gonna use this afterwards, you'll see, because obviously this is just the very first basis and we want it to be way more adapted, for example, to our colors and so on and so forth. And what's quite interesting, sometimes you might be a little blocked about a specific task. If it's about an internal process, for example, where you have to fetch information from one to the other, then, which can be nice, you can use the deep fix, because sometimes it might show some errors, and that's not a problem at all because Understand Studio will fix the errors for you. So this is quite great because even if there are errors, he'll be the one fixing them anyway. So you can use the deep fix button. And one feature, and then I'll stop talking about features because it's quite a lot, is just the last one. It's the add button. It allows us to see the other apps that I've built. So I've done some random things before, and I can connect them to them, which is super interesting because sometimes I need the code base from another process or application, and I can include it within this application. So this makes sure that I gain quite some time. So as you can see, it found some problem, but it's working again. So that's always the best. And in case you have any questions about what I've been talking so far, don't hesitate to write in the chat. I can see them on the right of my screen, and then I can add them to my screen. So don't be shy. And I believe that this tool is very fascinating because we are doing right now something quite basic, but we can do something very, very in-depth as well. I can show you even one example. But before, I'm going to click here on Fix, and he can work again. Maybe to show you something, as long as loading, that is, let's say, very technical as well, but it shows you just how specific it can be. It's, for example, our test case generator. So this is in the semiconductor industry. For everything they have, for example, the small chips we know in the phones or whatever it might be, also, in standard industries, they need it. Then they do have to check it, right? And so what you can do here is, instead of doing it manually, which would take months usually, you can do it with hours, or let's say at least in a few weeks, to have a perfect finished test case that you've done. And you can just put your specifications in here. I won't go into the details, because those who have no idea of what that means, it's just, again, another language we don't speak. But this is as well with the kind of app builder, and it just shows you how specific you can be. So here, for example, it goes about how well the spec coverage was, and you can see all kind of information coming from that document that sometimes consists of thousands of pages. And this is really interesting, because when we talk about such a tool, and especially me building something easy, it's just one way of using it, and it can be so specific, and it really does help the industry to work, of course, more efficient, to gain productivity, but also to make sure to see the edge cases that normally they might miss. Okay, let's see what is happening here. I can also click on that one. So that's the feedback. I will be able to share the link once it's done, and would be great if you guys just put a feedback in there, no matter what it is, so we can see together live if it works on the admin portal side. But let's wait for it to do its work. Okay. Sometimes we have to wake it up. Maybe it's too hot outside, even for Understand Studio to work. Okay. And as you can see, it's quite intuitive, right? So it's nothing very difficult to understand. And of course, what you can do is you can always share your project with the team. So you can work simultaneously on it, obviously, which is very interesting if it's a very specific topic and you don't want to have the only responsibility. That's also quite a nice feature we have. Okay, so now it's finished, and we can see how far it got. So this is what we said, quite what we've seen before. What we can do is to add our employees, as I said. And so usually this is not something we would do in the build process to make sure to ensure also the data security. But for this case, I'll do it just for you to see how it's possible. So I do have a collaborators list. Obviously, those are not real names. It's some fantasy names I got out there, and I can show you the Excel file so you understand what's happening. So this is the one. As you can see, we just have usual names such as the name, the date, the position, and so on and so forth. And we can use that document, and we'll just say, we'll put it in here, and we say, add my employees on the admin portal to the list. And we can even try to go further and see if it's possible, and make sure to use my brand colors, because obviously those are not my colors, even though they might be nice. And I prepared some brand colors for us that we can just include. And then he's gonna work for us again. And if I have some curious among you, I'll show you my brand color that I chose. It just takes some time to open. So it seems not to want me to show the brand colors. Wow. Okay, here we go. So these are the brand colors I have, and it's the same for your company. Whatever you have, you can just put it in, and it's gonna make sure that your portal has exactly those colors. So we let him work again. And we'll see what will happen there. So at least it's thinking. That's always a very good idea. And as I said, there is a surprise to today's episode, because once it's the first episode, but second, I believe that this tool needs to be used by the people themselves to realize the potential that is behind. You can integrate any kind of tool you have in mind, your mail, or whatever you need internally to work. And this is why we will give a free testing of this tool for 3 weeks. And for this, I will share later on a small QR code and even the link afterwards, also on our LinkedIn page, so you can test it. And I really do encourage you to create an account. As I said, it's free, and you test it by yourself. Any kind of internal process you would like to change or to improve, because just changing for changing, that's not the idea behind it. It's really to make sure it's more efficient. So I'll encourage you to test that tool and to see for yourself what you think of it. And of course, I'd be very happy for you to have feedback, because that's also for us a way to improve, right, in whatever we're doing. So we want the tool to be as useful as possible. Okay. So we'll wait 2 more seconds. And I can already maybe share you. This is the once it's we can wait as long as the Understand Studio is working. And this is the QR code I told you. In case for some it's not very easy to have a QR code because you're on the laptop, I'll post later on the link, as I said, so you'll be able to get to that page. And one funny fact, I can come back here. Actually, the formula I built for the free testing, obviously is done by Understand Studio. As you can see, I love that tool. And so here you have every step you need to know to get the free access. And on the left side, you might have some other information. And you also have our user guide. So here you have all kind of information to know how to use the Understand Studio with all the features and so on and so forth. So I'll share that link with you later on anyway. I'm just wondering. So I put it in the chat. I think you should receive it on LinkedIn, and at least it's in my page. Well, that's not very helpful, but I'll see later on, so that you have it. Okay, so we let it build a little more, and sorry, and then you can see what it's like. And also actually regarding the formula that I've shown you, because we're doing here an user portal and an admin portal, right? Because most of the time, this is what's interesting in companies where you have that admin side that discusses what kind of information we fetch into, what do we use, which connectors are included, and then you have the user side, and that's the same here. So you can, I did it, for example, I created an admin portal that is different to the one that you've seen in the beginning. And if I connect myself, then I can see this. So obviously you can see I've done some testing if it works. it does work. And this is how then I can make sure that you get a free trial. And nothing very specific, but as well, it was super easy to build, and I was able to do this with our app builder as well. Okay, so it seems like he has everything he needs. We'll see how it's working. And once this is done, I think you quite have a good overview of what's possible. And again, if you have any kind of questions or remarks or something that you want to add, then feel free to use the chat. It's always interesting to see what he's doing, to kind of get an idea how complex it is, because obviously when you don't have any developer competencies, that sometimes you might think, do it faster, or why does it take so much time? But obviously there's so many complex steps behind to make sure that it works also afterwards. So sometimes it's good to have the expert view to realize everything that Understand Studio is doing right now. Okay, we can see at least the colors seem to be here. That's nice. Okay, here as well. That's very great. Let's go back there. And let's wait. Oh, here we do have all the people. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, you see there were kind of 100 people, I think, in the list, and he just fetched all the information and included. Obviously, again, this is just an example, can be data sheets, thousands of data sheets, can be any kind of specifications or whatever you are working with to make it for you as efficient as possible. And then you can create some charts if necessary to see where things are going, or to include it with other connectors. So that's quite a great tool. I think it's almost ready, and I'll publish the I'll share the link with you guys. And for those who want to try, you can then open that link and write some feedback on the employee portal site. So you'll click here, you can put it in. I mean, I'll check it. Hello. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, and now if everything went wrong, right, we can see here the feedback. Okay, so I'll share with you the link. No, I won't publish it, but because it's not necessary actually for testing. But here you can see it was a good mistake from my side that he's running the security scan, and whenever he's finding some problem, he will tell you, and then you can fix it with the agent right here. And the same that we could see here in the expert section when I talked about security, here you can see all kind of findings he had, and you can always rerun the scan and then fix it before publishing. So that's a very nice tool to make sure that everything is okay here as well. There are some things that you need to make sure before using it in a real case scenario. Okay, I'm gonna send you this link. Just gonna take some time because we are a bit delayed from what you see. So here we go. Okay, yeah, I've seen that the first, at least the first link worked. That's already something where you can do the free testing. And now I sent you from my account the app that I've just built, so you can use it. And I'd be happy to have some feedback on the admin portal side. I can open it as well on that side. And I'll wait a little, as I said, because we do have that delay. So for now, it's just It's just my feedback that came in. And once you've gave some feedback, then we can all have a good day. Hopefully, at least for those having high temperature, with some air conditioning or something that helps to cool down. Actually, I just realized that I gave you the admin portal link, so I think you won't be able to give me any kind of feedback, but I'll share that one with you as well. And even though you might not have the time to do it right now, no, actually it's fine. I did, it was right what I did, I think. You should be able to give some feedback. So let's see. Yeah, if you want to taste, you can do it. Try out, not to taste, because I don't think it would be very yummy. We can see if anything came in for now. Okay, I think for now there's nothing, but feel free to do it, and I'll look to them later on. And here again, I'll give you the QR code. And as I said in the comments, you do have all the links you need to get the free testing. And yeah, I mean, the only limitation you might have is your brain, is your imagination. You can try everything, challenge the tool, make the best out of it. And in case you're interested to have more information or anything else, or some things where you are kind of stuck, then you can always contact me or Understand Tech in general to see what's possible. So thank you very much for being here and for seeing everything that's possible. I'll hope you have as much fun as I have using this tool. And we see each other in 2 weeks. Might not be a webinar, but it's going to be something about the Understand This series. It's going to be a new episode. So we'll keep in touch, and I wish you a very good day. Bye-bye.